Okay, let's continue. Since I see no one else trying to answer. So allow me to start by stating that the person who's alive is you. Just say those words to yourself. The person who's alive is me. You know, the person who's alive is you. And you come as a package. And this package has several dimensions to it. There's the dimension of the physical you. There's a mental and heart dimension of you. And there's a spiritual dimension of you. And all these faculties of me or of you bring on board something unique and something that needs to be discovered. In the course of our living, most of us just operate physically in terms of they grow. So mentally, it is something that you are pushed to by virtue of you have folks, parents, guardians who send you into a place of prayer, or rather school. They send you to school, so you start engaging mentally. But it never really gets you to a place of self-discovery. It is until you are deliberate with yourself that you can be able to discover who you really are. So, and some people even die without ever fully discovering who they really are. And why we start with this aspect, and there will be more lessons tonight at midnight so that we can, for the next day, is because people just rush, because they're just growing physically, they engage things on that level. And therefore, age catches up somewhere and someone feels, oh, I have finished my campus. I think I should be having a relationship. And then I go into a relationship. I think it's not my type. Then you're out of a relationship. Oh, I think I should be having sex. Let me go in and have some sex. Oh, I don't think I like whatever is happening. Oh, you see, it's not a it's an exploration rather than a self-discovery. So, and while you are exploring, you hit on accidents. And it's because you don't know what is good for you and what is not good for you. So you just go doing things haphazardly, having not even considered yourself. Because when it comes to matters, relationship matters, vocation matters, purpose, there are things that are going to be executed by yourself. So meaning that if you really don't know who you are, there's a very large possibility that you are just scuffing around Earth. And you're more of a survivor than a deliberate person who's living. And being in this Earth, it is important that we remember that we are bigger, higher than animals. So we cannot be animalistic in terms of our living, whereby an animal is born, gets old, gets kids, dies, and the cycle continues. For us human beings, that's not what we are called. That's not the life we are called to. The life we are called to is full of innovation. Is full of discovery. Is full of getting to. These are very important aspects of us. I hope you can all hear me. These are very important aspects of us. And it is important that we discover these aspects of us so that we can be able to utilize ourselves according to purpose. And discovering yourself is your primary goal. It is a personal and an urgent matter. Because the older you get without self-discovery, you are setting up yourself for confusion. Because should you engage anything, even if it is as little as a career, and maybe I'm trivializing a career, maybe it's supposed to be big, even if it's as little as engaging in friends, engaging God. Whatever it is that you engage in, should you engage without self-discovery, who you really are, means you are bound to be shortchanged in whatever engagements you engage in, because you have not really discovered the potential that you have and you possess. You have not discovered the giftings and the abilities that you possess, that you bring to the table. So meaning that you are going to shortchange others, and others are also going to shortchange you. Should you become something, because sometimes success can hit you even without self-discovery, you stand a high chance of losing your success story quickly. And I want to highlight some of the success stories we've had that ended up in tragedies. Someone like Wanjiro, the great marathon runner, he hit success without self-discovery. So he pressed self-destruct button. And he tried to be, I don't know if it is John Rambo or whatever it is, and he flew from his mansion only to land on his head, to discover too late that those things only happen in movies. And it is an issue of self-discovery. And athletes and gifted people we have seen across the globe, most of the time they self-destruct at the place of success because they have not done something called self-discovery. And addicts are also victims of self-discovery because they do not know. They do not know that they have compulsive disorders if it is an addict. They do not know that they have the potential to abuse drugs and alcohol and even movies because they have not done self-discovery. It is when you have self-discovery that you can be able to even implement things like self-control. So tonight, my challenge to us is, do you mind to start a journey? Because this is your life. It's my life. No one can live out your life. And why we even become photocopies is because we don't really know who we are. So we want to match that one. Oh, Justin Bieber. I saw Justin Bieber had a cool, oh, I don't know what, Timberlake. We move around trying to iconize things that are idealistic without self-discovery. But when you discover yourself and your uniqueness, you notice that you want to parade that. And you see, some of these people, let me give an example of someone like Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o got to know who really she is, such that even when the limelight hit her, it didn't derail her. She could daringly, put her dark hair and not try and go and bleach. And I am not going to mention names of people who have done that, who have self-altered so that they can fit the status that they think they have. But you see, status finds you when you know who you really are. And it won't destroy you when you really know who you are. The only problem you might stand now when you really discover yourself now is you can easily become proud. But with proper self-control, you can still walk the path of humility and be able to still become yourself and still not really exalt yourself above the others. So who are you? That is a $1 million question that everyone seems to ask. Even Moses, when encountering the burning bush, he said, you're telling me a lot of big things. But when they ask me, who are you? What am I going to tell them? And that's where the famous Yahweh statement came. I am. Go tell them I am, And you are too. But you see, when the Lord was saying, I am, he was trying to say he is many things. He is yet to be discovered. And you, when you say I am, the first mandate of discovery is yourself. Who are you? What do you bring to the table? When people are seeking to go into relationships in the future, or some even now, but what are you bringing to that other person? Do you know what you're bringing? It is hard when someone doesn't know that anakwanga na short wire, as in fuse uchomeka, very irritant, and they go into a relationship with that short wire and they haven't even told their future person that I have a short wire. So due to circumstances, maybe they have not gotten to a place of irritation because of the lovey-dovey things that are happening. So they've not gotten to a place of irritation. And since they also don't know who they really are, they don't know. But when they get into a place of marriage, suddenly a few things here and there are beginning to irritate them. Or they see the cup placed in the wrong place, it is irritating them. Or they've never shared a house with someone and now they're having to share things together, it is irritating them. And so they start getting these bouts of anger. And this also beats up on their spouse. And so they are entering into a place of arguments, not because that they could not have prepared, but someone was naive enough not to discover themselves. So they came in, so they are busy discovering themselves in a relationship. And it's very unfortunate if you hook up with a vocation, whatever the vocation it is, whether it is singlehood, whether it is married life, whatever it is, priesthood or something. If you hook up with a relationship or with an engagement without proper self-discovery, you are going to mess up whatever is, because you don't know who you really are. So you may underperform because you don't know what your potential holds. So it is important for us, as we start off our prayer, my prayer for our partner on day 1 today, that be nice to yourself. You know, when we joined the group, it was a pure voluntary process with even the option of exit. Yet and the first challenge is me. Who am I? And I'm inviting us to a place of take yourself seriously. Be serious with yourself. Learn to sit down with yourself. Don't allow days to just go by and you don't sit down with yourself and ask yourself, so what did I discover today about me? How did I handle my day? What did I enjoy about my day? What did I not enjoy about my day? What can I do better tomorrow? What potential was not unleashed today? What can I unleash tomorrow to become a better person? You see, why people suffer in their old age is old age has a way of bringing everything. In Swahili, we say, wazee ukumbuka. Everything you did in the past. And should you have not engaged in your best foot and in your best move and in your best potential, it produces regret. And some people begin to regret as early as 20 years, as early as 30 years, as early as 40 years. So regret can hit you anywhere. And so that we don't get ourselves at a place of regret, sit yourself down. I mean, just do as a service. You're going to be relating with people, even at workplace or wherever it is you are. We are always relating with people. But if you don't know what you're bringing to the table, you are really shortchanging everyone. You're shortchanging everyone. Are you ready to discover yourself? That's my question to us. Are you ready to discover yourself? Are you ready to discover your weaknesses? Are you ready to discover your strengths? Are you ready to put in the effort? You know, see, if you don't take yourself seriously, who else will ever take you seriously? So this is a challenge. Our day 1 is a challenge of self-discovery. That I want to find out who I am. Why people also, did you know that whenever you get irritated by people's comment about you, means you have fallen short in terms of discovering who you are? Because should you know clearly who you are, and someone gives a contrary opinion, it does not hurt you, because you really know, okay, misguided, that's not me. I don't need to fight about it. But if you have to fight and defend it, it means there is a little bit of truth that is irritating you. And you see, truth has a problem. Truth has a way of offending. It can, when it is right and it is a success, it is exciting. But when it is right but you're on the wrong, it is offending. And someone wants to feel pain. And I discovered this even in terms of abuses. You know, when we were growing up, kids could easily call each other, oh, macho gololi, I don't know, all forms of names. You know, not everyone is brought up properly. in fact, if you use curse words, you know that you're not brought up properly. It can be the fault of your parents, but more so it can also be the fault of the choices of friends that you surround yourself with. So these curse words were dished out left, right, center in some neighborhoods that I grew up in. And sometimes you would be called a name, maybe you've been called a dog, and it would make you so mad, and you're feeling, why did you call me a dog? And when I discovered myself, it hit me, no matter how many dogs you call me, I'll never be a dog. So why even get mad in the first place? I am not a dog. And I don't need to defend myself on that, because I think the person who has called me a dog needs to check themselves deeper, because most likely they are the ones with the issue with dogs rather than me who has been called a dog. And when I was struck by this self-discovery, I stopped getting irritated. So as people would abuse, throw words, and suddenly I don't even get frustrated. I am not even offended. I'm not even hurting. And it's because I discovered, I don't need to defend myself when I know myself. Defense mechanism happens when you feel inadequate, you feel there is something that is described about you that is wrong. And sometimes I am telling you the truth. It is some truth. So sit down with yourself. Maybe you need to look at the words that hurt you most, the things people said about you, and they really struck your heart, and ask yourself, why did they hurt? Did those words indicate what I believe inside the baby? I have never consciously talked about it, or those words were talking about some situation that I'm struggling with. And when you discover these things, then you are able to know who you are. These great Greeks that invented philosophy once said, to be a leader is to lead yourself. Lead, that is Kina Plato. Leader, lead you thyself. That discovery of your potential is your problem. It is my problem to discover what I bring on earth. And you see, purpose is connected with self-discovery. The day you discover, like Michael Phelps, that you can swim, it is a potential you have to discover yourself, then throw yourself into the game and become an Olympic champion. When you have all these great athletes that they threw in, I now know of a Kenyan sprinter that discovered himself while playing rugby. And people are saying, hey, you guy, the speed at which you're crossing us here, you need to go and try out something. And when he tried out, now look at him. He beat greats in the world. He was number 2 when they did their races here in Kenya at Kasarani. And it was an amazing feat, knowing that Kenyans can run under 10. He's now the fastest in Africa currently. And so what do you bring to the table? Help us help you by telling us, who are you? And so that's why you will see some of the assignments we will be giving in the first 3 days. They are introspective kind of assignments. And why we are indicating that send your assignments is that you may take yourself seriously. It's not about Coach Ronnie who's receiving or Coach Dennis who's receiving the information. Why it's because it is for you. Because someone may not even take themselves seriously. They'll think, oh, I know myself. I don't need to do this assignment. But yet, if they would just take themselves seriously and do the assignment, you might discover one extra thing that, yes, you knew yourself, yes, but you may discover a new thing that could be your $1 million item that may change your things around. Remember, the book of Proverbs says that your gifts make you sit with kings. So meaning that maybe your breakthrough is in a gift that you have. But as long as you keep saying, what gift do I have? Means you are yet to discover what gifts you have. You're yet to discover what talents you have. And you imagine discovering your talents when you are old, when you have a few years remaining. Discover yourself today, shine, and great things are going to happen. And so I want to just stop there and allow us to send in comments or questions. And you feel free to ask me any question in regards to our topic for today. Welcome.
Some great points that can easily build my own empire of self-discovery. Yeah, so congratulations, bro. It was a nice one. I loved it. Yeah? And while listening to your presentation, I also happened to go to the group to see the assignment. I was so anxious to know what exactly I'm supposed to answer. And yeah, I've read your first day presentation. Don't listen to what's up. And there are 2 points that caught my attention. Unfortunately, I couldn't understand all of them. So maybe if you can highlight about
Yeah,
them.
you go on.
One is about yes.
Go and ask the question.
Yeah, one is associating yourself with the great icons, or associating yourself with people who add value. Especially, I saw an example. For example, if you have to associate with a group of, let's say, who speak, abusive or vulgar languages, probably you could pick one or two and also start to speak dirty languages. And then I was trying to relate it, to connect it with now with like myself development, like myself discovering my own self, with the question which you had asked, who are you? Who am I? And then I was failing to connect the two. If you can help me at least fitting the two together, and get.
I think the first thing for me is to be able to understand the question you have asked. So you are asking the relationship.
The question is, highlight more about how does one easily associate with the people, because it's also hard, if you have not discovered yourself, right, who you are, it's also hard to understand or to discover the people you should associate yourself with. It's also hard to discover other people. So I wanted to understand that.
It is very difficult actually, because you become. Do you know a flag? Have you ever seen a flag hoisted on a pole?
Yeah.
What happens when wind blows?
I think it goes either way, the direction.
Wherever the wind blows, it goes. Meaning it does not have a choice. It is blown away by whatever the wind does. And have you ever seen a block, like a signboard that is fixed, and it is fixed completely? Does it go, or it stays the way it was placed?
It's firm. It can't move either.
So the firmness indicates you know who you really are. So meaning that you can only associate with them that you identify with. And the other, the flag means that when you don't discover yourself, means that anyone can take you for a ride. So you have no direction. So means that any relationship that you hook up with, you just ride along. And therefore you are able to be swallowed by anything and everything. Should you have good company, there would be a chance that you would become great by chance. And should you also have bad company, then you also get distraction, not by choice, but just because you don't have a standing. You don't really know who you are.
Oh, wow.
It's clearer?
Yeah. I get the point now. So you are like let me not quote you bad. You're trying to say you have to discover your own self first, before you can discover who you should associate yourself with.
That would be my prayer. And I wish all human beings would start there. They would start by discovering themselves. I wish we would discover ourselves from our families. Before we hit the world, we discover who we are. Because when we come to associate, we will be very picky. Allow me to bring in something called a vision. Not very many people are able to operate a vision, because the vision also indicates that you have understood one, you have insight by yourself, and therefore you're able to focus it somewhere and then pick up put the right ingredients in your path to fulfill your vision. And Vision has the ability to pick your friends. Vision has the ability to pick your courses. Vision has the ability to pick anything that the relationships that you're going to go with. But you see, that's a self-discovery thing. So people never really take time to discover themselves. That's why people can even undertake careers, courses that they are not you, but you had people saying, oh, this has money, or this one is a good course, so you entered, but it was not for you. So you are there and you're so stranded and you're so lost and you're thinking. So it's not just about even friends, even courses we take, the jobs we take. There are some jobs that we pick that end up, derailing you from your destiny because you never really took time to discover who am I, how do I fit into this work, so that you can be able to grow as much as you're helping others grow. Clearer? Deus clearer? Did we lose Deus?
No, I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for that enlightenment.
Okay. Yeah, I think you are on mute, so I couldn't hear. You're welcome, Deus. So anyone else?
My question is self-discovery the same as purpose in life?
No. The simple answer is no. Self-discovery is not the same as purpose, but self-discovery can lead us to purpose. Self-discovery is just knowing who you are and what you are about. Then it is in the self-discovery that you find also purpose. So, and you will notice, we are going to take you step by step. Do participate in your daily assignments, and we will help you. And you can feel free also to have personal contacts and just call, you can call Coach Ronnie, you can call me and just say, I'm stuck here. I'm not able to discover this. I'm not having headways, and we will walk with you. We will be there for you. But no, it's not the same as purpose, but self-discovery can lead to purpose.
Thank you.
Anyone else before we finish up tonight?
To understand that maybe it's asking about who you are, like in terms of how best have you discovered yourself. Yeah.
So you are being asked in an interview or where?
Yeah, it was in an interview. Imagine who are you? And then I will not tell you what I said, but I think I was wrong. I have just learned right now from you that, for example, if you are asked this question, who are you? The issue of telling your academic papers, where you come from, what's your name, I think that's not necessary.
Exactly. I think on the CV anyway.
Yeah. Because relating from the example that you've just given us about asking Jesus, who are you? And saying, yes, I am. I could also, relate it to myself. And, when I'm asked that question, maybe I'm like, yes, I'm approachable. I'm easy to go along with. Who you are. What you are, not what. Not what maybe where you come from, what your names. I think that's out of the gap, out of the line. So I just want to thank you for this.
Amazing student right there. Did I see, is it Vane John or Vane John? Please, I saw you on mute.
I was late today, but I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
I think I came late a bit, but for what I've heard, I think I am lightened a bit.
And are you going to take a step in discovering more of yourself? Yes, let's do this. Let's challenge each other. Let's push one another in the group. Let's make October for a partner bigger and better by virtue of let's discover ourselves. Let's push ourselves to be better people. so that as we discover our vocations, as we discover what relationships we want to engage in, that we are bringing wonderful people to the table. We are not bringing semi-formed people, semi-informed people, people who are confused and they don't even know where they're going. They don't even know what they are. Let's not bring that to the table. Let's bring people who really know what they want and what they are, and they bring it to the table and they can package it properly. And that's our desire. I want to usher in Coach Ronnie, maybe for a few sentiments here and there before we call it a night. Welcome, Ronnie.
Like, because you can discover something after you discover something about you, who you are, you find maybe it's your calling. I mean, am I wrong, or how is it connected?
Yes. And beautifully put also by Coach Ronnie, that self-discovery can also, you see how we have said self-discovery can help you find purpose. It can also help find vocation. It can help you find your calling. Because when you haven't discovered yourself, you will not also understand how do you communicate. I also see the aspect of spiritual being. How do you communicate with your God? How do you feel him? How do you connect with him? See, this is part of self-discovery. How do you connect with God? How do you communicate with him? So that you can be able to understand when callings are happening in your life. And some callings are just purposeful living, just pure purposeful living, as in you discover I have a passion for the children. And some may stick to marriage and some may stick to celibacy so that they can fulfill their dream for children, you know. And so discovering yourself will also help you answer calls. Allow me to just also know something from the Bible. Samuel had no idea how God speaks. And so God kept on calling up. God kept calling, hey Samuel. But Samuel was not getting it because he had never discovered how God speaks to him. So he kept disturbing Eli. And finally, Eli figured out this boy is being called by God. But you see, God wasn't calling Eli, but this boy might be called by God. He said, "What that voice called? Why don't you say, 'Here I am, Lord'?" And when he said, "Here I am, Lord," he entered into another discovery level, that he is called to be a prophet. He is called to be a prophet. And the man was able to live out his life, his vocation, because he was able to discover how God talks to him. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, Belt.
Yeah, you have put it right. Yeah. You gave a beautiful example of this guy called Omanyara, now the renowned African, I think the best African, the fastest man in Africa, Yani.
Mm-hmm.
And he discovered, he was, I think, in rugby, as you put it, and just discovered he could run. Just a few months ago. And then there's also the owner of KFC. I've forgotten his name.
Yes, discovered himself at 65.
He could do, train chicken, yeah.
So it's never too late, and neither is it too early. Whatever time you want to be, but what I'm saying is take yourself seriously. Because you don't want to discover yourself when you're dying. You see, now KFC does well, and the man is long gone. So most probably, if he would have discovered himself a way earlier, he would have enjoyed these things that KFC has been able to achieve over the time, long before. You understand me, yeah?
You have answered the question perfectly, even before I could ask. So, Dennis, does it mean to add? Does it mean that there are people who even die without even actually discovering their purpose, themselves in life before they die?
Yes,
discovering what they are meant to be.
I want to correct something, not that Munro put it wrongly, that the wealthiest place is the grave, but it is not an issue of potential just dying, but it is people who never discovered themselves. Let me just improve on his statement, that it is people who never discovered themselves. So they are unable to become because they didn't discover themselves.
Okay.
And therefore they go to the grave having never fulfilled themselves. And it is a sad moment even for God when you come home and there was a purpose that you were supposed to fulfill, and then you come empty-handed. And you see, the most frustrating human being on earth is an undiscovered person. It's a frustrating life. You are a second-class citizen in the world. You move around with wishful thinking. You go around copying things. You go around, and you can easily even commit suicide. That's how people even commit suicide, because apart from the disease called clinical depression, there are also just issues of you didn't take time to discover them yourself. And parents are key ingredients in terms of helping people discover themselves. Teachers are also another key ingredient in terms of helping people discover themselves. And now, watu kama sisi, Ronnie and I, wamejituma, and we are trying to make people wake up. Please, you need to take time with yourself and find out who you really are. Then that is, count yourself blessed that you have connected with some of us so that you can be able to really maximize on becoming.
I am asking this question. What about sometimes you are in a situation, sometimes you ask somebody a question, you think that you have asked in a good way, but you find somebody that says his voice at a high most point. How are you going to handle that point?
They raise their voice at a high note. While answering you or while not, and what are they doing? Responding to you.
Yani, somebody made a mistake. You go to that person in a kind way, ask that person, why are you doing this? And instead of telling you this and this, he starts shouting and making the most noise at the high point.
I get you. Now allow me to say this. When you have, it's called self-discovery. It's not under discovery.
Yes.
So when you have done your own homework perfectly and you have known yourself and you have packaged yourself properly and correctly, it does not mean that everyone else has done the same. So may you not assume, let's not assume that others have done their self-discovery. And I have told you this, sometimes the hardest pill to swallow is the truth. So you may go to someone and you're telling them politely, but you're telling them a painful truth maybe of an error that they have committed. And since they have not taken their time to retrospect, think about, meditate about themselves, they may react, not because you're saying a lie, but because they don't like what you're saying. It is maybe something that they're struggling with and they have never really come to terms with it. And now you're pointing it out and they're feeling like you're the worst person in the world. It is because of you that they are bad. It is because of you. Someone can even blame you for just exposing. You exposed their mistake. So the problem is not their mistake, but it is you who has exposed the mistake. So this is something that you also have to be very cautious at relating. That's why I'm saying self-discovery is important so that we can learn how to relate. Some people cannot be criticized. Some people they have this self-belief that they are perfect and they cannot be criticized. So you try your criticism on them, they will burst and they will erupt on you like a serious volcano, and you will die in the process if you're not cautious. But also as you confront, let me say this in terms of self-discovery, as you confront someone.
Yes.
You confronting them is not an indication that they will correct. The choice of correcting still sticks with the person who is receiving the correction. And also give them also the benefit of doubt that they also can react and overreact. So having this at the back of your mind as you are addressing someone will help you not die in the process. So that if they take it, well and good. If they don't take it, you don't die in the process. You say, okay, I did my best. I gave them my best shot. And then finally, I want to say this. whenever we are addressing people with this now new cognition that people have you are giving them permission to react and they can overreact, and you're giving them permission to accept or not accept, then you also have to include something called sandwich, and I like calling it sandwiching, whereby praise someone. Let me tell you, few people are able to run away from praise. Whenever you want to tell someone something, a criticism, learn to praise them. And I'm glad I'm saying this for people who are not yet married. Praise someone. Tell them, this and this you did very well. This is amazing thing. However, I feel like this one could have been done better in this and this way. But more so, I really thank you that you're such a kind person. You have put your problem in there between of praising. So you have really managed their reaction. And so they will not, before they react, they are thinking, what am I reacting to? Am I only reacting to this negative thing, or am I reacting also to the positive things that they have said? You're making them have to really retrospect before they respond. And that makes you even a person who has emotional intelligence. Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
And do you feel answered today?
I thank you for that. And I have another question.
Go on. Beautiful. I love questions, meaning people are attentive and people are grasping. Go on.
I thank you for that answer. And what about when you are in a situation and you get people hate you for nothing? You are there, you don't mess with them, but they hate you. Generally, and they see you, but they see you like evil.
Okay, so
Wow.
now that one points to something a little bit different that I wouldn't want to share here. But I would ask you, have personal time with me or with Ronnie.
Thank you.
Then have produced a different angle that I don't want to indulge in right now. Okay?